Parents of our Leo children, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Parental Guidance, the only channel on YouTube dedicated to providing parents monthly guidance to interacting with their children on a more intuitive basis to help heal wounds and grow deeper connections. My name's Danita, just in case you need to know that. But I, just so you understand the changes that I have made to the spread, hopefully you've read or watched that first introductory video to kind of give you an overview of what's happening this month with energy, and that'll give you better an understanding of why I did the cards the way that I did and what they mean. So let's get started. Your Leo child has a very interesting story with twists and turns, and a part of me was like, oh, you know, it had good times and bad times, but it all works out. So they have the Fox card, and it's in reverse, and there's absolutely, in my opinion, nothing wrong with this being in reverse. And I do apologize for moving the card around a lot. I just wish I could get it in focus for you, but it's just not happening. But the Fox card speaks of cunning, sexuality, creativity, magic, superpowers, and all that. And to me, this felt like a good placement because your child, in my opinion, isn't trying to manipulate, isn't using, unrested energy. They're more solid, they're more stable, they're grounded. So that's great. It's really cool because your child has a couple of ones. There's a couple of cards in here with ones on them. So it's like, wow, it's, you know, a new start. Like, before I get into it, I'll just show you. You know, they have a couple of cards. Well, it's better if you see it that way. But they have a couple of cards with one on it. And, you know, this made me, when I saw this, it's like, wow. You know, the rainbow card just made me think it's a Leo. And then you remember Carebears, if you were born in the 80s, especially. And I believe Lionheart had a big rainbow on his belly. I could be wrong, but I think Lionheart did. It's like, wow, what a great confirmation. So it's like they are connecting, to connecting in spirit, they're connecting to spirit and nature. And it's just like they're in their element, they're creative, which, you know, the Fox card speaks to, but they're just, it's a vibrant energy. Very powerful, like Leo babies are. They have the Australian agate card, which is very beautiful. It also talks, just looking at it, there's movement, there's energy. This speaks to perception, strength, courage, all cards that, you know, are symbolic of the Leo sign. And stamina says your power of perception along with your mental and physical body are presently being strengthened. This will give you the courage and energy required to tackle what seems at present to be complex and somewhat insurmountable problem. So to explain, this is their monthly personality of the Fox. This is their energy of strength. This is their challenge. So they're going to have, it may be a test of stamina and courage. And their emotion for this month is acceptance. There's something that they're going to have to accept for sure. And it just says, I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. And at least this is in the upright. So they are making progress in a positive direction instead of sadly being someone who would have active resistance to accepting something. So thank God for that. You know, you don't have to deal with a stubborn child this month because Leo is a fixed sign, and oh boy, can they be stubborn. So you have your child, their goal for the month is I am confident, but it is in reverse. So they will have a challenge in reaching that goal of confidence. They may not feel confident, and that goal is to get them to understand. It's like, yes, you know, today you can do your best and you are awesome, and all of those encouraging things. So it says, today I will be the best I can be in everything I do. Me at my best is awesome. So that's their goal, that in all of this, to accept their level, whatever it is. Some days they're in the month of November, their abilities are going to be higher. Some days their abilities are going to be lower. And when in those days that they felt that they should have been able to accomplish more, to just accept it and be at peace, that they gave their best that day, and that's all that matters. I know that there's 5 weeks in November, but for the sake of consistency, this energy is fluid, but it's not like, as you've heard, a hard start or stop. But this is the progression over the course of the month of November that you'll see. So starting out the month of November, the first week approximately, which this would focus, but they have the Loyal Heart card. And that spoke to me because, Lionheart, the Carebear, but also loyalty. And that is something that you do get from Leos. If you're kind to them and, you're loyal to them, they're loyal to you. Devotion. Just a sense of connectivity. So, in that first week, they may give something to someone. I just see them, it's maybe they're dedicating a lot of their energy to something in this first week in November. And then they have the Clean It Up card in the reverse. So somehow they become fixated, which they can do because it's a fixed sign, on focusing on other people. So maybe they could be bossy and saying, well, I think you should be doing such and such, or exhibiting, some kind of behavior, some negative or shadow behavior. And they are, trying to be helpful, but they're doing too much and stepping outside of their bounds. Taking on other people's burdens, what they shouldn't do. And sadly, in the third week, they have the Orphan card, and this made me feel sad to see this, like, oh. So I don't know if it's so much of a loss, like a physical loss, but it's a loss of confidence nonetheless. And, it's an emotional thing, like it says an identity crisis, or recognizing that you don't fit, or uncertainty about your place. So they may have an instance where sadly somebody tells them, or calls them out and exposes and say, no, you shouldn't do that. You don't have right to do that, or blah, blah, blah. And their feelings could get hurt, and that caused them to maybe feel like they need to be isolated, or they isolate themselves in sadness, or restrict. And I'm reading. They may reach out themselves and find that what they're looking for, they're not getting. So somehow in the third week, there's going to be something amiss. An expectation amiss is what you need to focus on for them. An expectation amiss. Something does not go as planned, as executed, and that's what hurts their heart, their loyal heart. So in the final week, they have the Yang in reverse. And so I don't know why. And I don't know, I feel like, I'm like, is this the first week, or maybe it's the one? But I just get a sense that maybe this could be a beginning action. But they may feel, being aggressive. Maybe they're coming to terms with this. Bear with me. And I don't know why I feel the need to do this. I feel, and not that this is wrong, I really feel like for some silly reason, for some of you, it could be they're devoted, they're looking at other people's stuff, their feelings get hurt, somehow they don't learn the lesson, and they keep up with this arrogant behavior and impulsive aggressive behavior. Or maybe this could also be a warning Someone told them, it's like, hey, you're doing too much. Oh, no, I got it. They're still digging in other people's stuff, and then they get their feelings hurt, and then they learn their lesson. I don't know why I feel the need to do that, but I really feel it's necessary for some of you, rearrange those cards because your child may have a different outcome. Some of your children may start, negative and then end up getting it. And some of you, sadly, your child may start strong. They get too hyper-focused on other people's stuff. They get their feelings hurt, but they still haven't learned the lesson. But I feel like for most of you who are watching this may resonate more. The shift or the change in the month of November, it deals with parental care. And I don't know if it's a grandparent for them, depending on the age. But I get the feeling that and maybe there's some kind of, grandparent person that they feel very strongly to helping, and they're in their flow, and maybe they try to help a family member too much, and then that family member has to tell them and put them in their place, and then they realize that, okay, well, I can't do that, or maybe they're offended that grandparent or somebody tells them to stop, or that it's just, I feel like they get gratification out of, as anyone does, gratification out of helping others or being of service this month, and then they're hyper focusing on somebody else's things. I feel that connection, that this month they may be taking care of somebody. They start off with all this strength. Something is amiss, an expectation is amiss, and they question their confidence. Or some hurt, some family hurt takes place, where there could be, for some of you, resentment and anger at the end. These are interchangeable, but I know that somehow there is a hurt that is a culmination. And I apologize for these being long. I got to tell the story, and I'm trying to do it as succinctly as possible that I know how. I really feel like their energy in doing is connected to taking care of somebody else or helping someone else out of an adult nature. So a parent, but I really feel it's like an aunt or a grandparent, but an older individual. And they take on too much, or maybe depending on the age, they speak out of turn, and they get checked, or they learn something that they feel a loss, or they wanted to help, and that person rejects their help. But the goal in all of that is to release the anger, and that's where I'm getting that from. This is the story. Somebody upsets them where they feel orphaned. And maybe these are for the children who have this, aggression still. Like, I helped them and they were ungrateful. But they have, released the anger. And I really wish this would focus, and this is upsetting me that it's not. But it says release the anger. And it says don't give power to negative words by saying them. Speak from your higher self and make your communications peaceful and loving. Because they have a peaceful card here. So the answer is take the high road. They can still be loving and devoted and loyal, but they're going to need your help to shake all that off, to release all that anger. And so it's a dance, maybe physically dancing, or it's you help them, you support them in the dance of back and forth in this journey, this lesson of growth that they're going on this month. And it says, when we ask for guidance, take action, and put our faith in an outcome we can't see yet, we began to dance with grace. When we ask for guidance, take action, and put our faith in an outcome we can't see yet, we've begun the dance with grace. And this is a dance for them. And this is how you can help support them in that dance. Physically dancing it off, laughing it off, not getting too caught up in it and helping them to release that anger, or just supporting them in their journey of their own growth. So that is their lesson for this month. With that being said, for some reason, everything looks good for you. You know, it's like you're selling yourself short. You know, when I look at this, the world looks great in this tiny circle that you've limited yourself in for whatever reason. I have no idea. I don't know why you are not feeling comfortable to take that risk. But you're limiting yourself for some reason. But, you know, be encouraged that, you know, you are financially savvy. And this isn't so much, I think this is just your life in general. Not related so much to business. But for some reason, you are limiting yourself, or you have just set the notion that in the limitation, like, this is what I think, this is how far I go. You can't see that, sorry about that. And that's it. Like, you've already created your box in your bubble, and what you have accepted as satisfying, and you're limiting yourself. It says, one of the most tragic things I know about human nature is that all of us tend to put off living. We are all dreaming of some kind of magical rose garden over the horizon instead of enjoying the roses that are blooming outside our window every day. And that's by Dale Carnegie. This book quotes it. So it's like, oh, life would be better out there. You know, but you're limiting yourself. You know, like, you got this, you've limited your own possibilities with this being here, and then unbeknownst, you're looking outside this self-imposed limitation, like, oh, life is better. Well, you can have that, but you got to get rid of this first. You know, like, there are no limitations. The only limitations we have is, you know, what we put on ourselves. So, you know, money is a powerful tool. And maybe you're having doubts or concerns pertaining to money. That if you have the ability to manifest it, which you do. But maybe it also is tied to getting out of your own head and stop limiting yourself so that money can manifest, because you have what it takes to do so. So I could go on, but there's something your thoughts are limiting your life. But there's a goal that you have, a business or something financial, some kind of financial goal that you have that you're limiting yourself on. And you could be attracting it if you would change your mindset. Okay, I'll leave it at that. If you have questions, please leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great month. We'll see you in December.